Thinking back on like maybe not necessarily more recent games that have been redone, older games that maybe you might go back and replay if they were redone and maybe controls worked out a little bit more smoothly, graphics worked out a little bit better. What would you guys like to see done in a remaster?
Well, I think I'll let you go.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think looking at like Skyrim, for example, that's coming out in about a month. It looks like, I mean, the mechanics already were pretty good to begin with.
Yeah.
But I mean, I trust Bethesda to rework a little bit of those fine details. Like, hey, this didn't work that great before. Let's just go back in and patch it up really quick. Like little small stuff like that. I don't really want a Halo Collection remake of a game. Yeah, I don't want that again. That game was terrible. I don't really want that again because I think you just need to go in, polish the mechanics a little bit, make it look pretty, and then re-release it. I think that will work perfectly fine. So that's not a huge issue to me. It's just what I want to see for the most part is I want to see that same experience just prettier. And it's kind of that.
It's okay. So because you say that, I wonder, okay, because I don't understand the remakes from PS3 to PS4. It's a little bit prettier, but really, is it necessary? Is it necessary? Like, I remember when I heard The Last of Us remake, I'm like,
why?
I didn't understand it.
Well, you know what?
I mean, and I'm sure it does look better.
It does.
Just like the PS4, probably to the Pro.
Yeah,
it's going to look better.
I will actually. The Last of Us was like the only one that I don't agree with you, but for the most part, I do agree with you on that point. Is again, we were talking about how well the PlayStation 4 was selling. There's a huge amount of PlayStation 4 owners at that time that did not.
Yeah,
and I think they looked at
that reason.
And they were like, you know what? If we re-release this, like we'll basically sell a shit ton more.
Okay.
And that's when I was like, okay, I can see this. And it was such a great game. I'm like, people need to play this.
I rebought it. And, I played through the original probably 3 times. And I still rebought it and played through it again.
Yeah. Okay. So, was there a huge difference in the way it looked?
I'd say maybe not necessarily huge, but definitely noticeable.
Yeah,
noticeable difference.
Yeah.
So mostly the reason for doing that is because of the experience and how big PS4 was, so they wanted new people to get this game.
I think they knew a lot of Xbox 360 owners that come over to get their PlayStation 4.
Okay.
And they had no idea what The Last of Us was.
Okay. So that makes sense to me. But when you're doing something just based off of looks from PS3 to PS4, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, like, as much as I love the BioShock games, I'm probably not going to get the remasters right away.
Yeah.
Because I still have all 3 on my PS3. So, I mean, if it just looks okay, is it $60 worth? Not necessarily, because the original games still look great.
And that was what I was going to do too. Is I had all 3 of them because I knew they were going to be backwards compatible with the Xbox One. So okay, that's something I'll play on my Xbox One. Unfortunately, they were stolen, like everything else that I had. So I was like, okay, there's incentive for me to go out and buy an HD collection, and it looks good, but it's not something that I wanted to go and do, but I didn't have it anymore. So I was like,
that makes sense then.
And same thing with Mass Effect. I was hoping they were going to be releasing an HD remake of that. Again, polish the mechanics a little bit, make it look prettier, and release the high definition version. But they've come out and said that they don't plan on doing that. They're really focusing on Andromeda.
Yeah, which I think that's the right thing to do.
Overall for sure. And then I'll just have to go and get the original 3. And then I do believe that those are going to be backwards compatible on the Xbox One, so I'll play it like that.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder, like, if they took a really old game, like really old, and made a remaster of it, so basically a completely new game, like, would it make...
So like,
would it lose its, like, feeling of that game, do you think?
Kind of like do like what movies do, where they'll remake like an old, like, Scarface, for example?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, not necessarily.
Like, yeah, I think...
because the new Doom is essentially a remake of the first one.
Basically. That's a great example.
And I think that works very well, because it's such a big jump. Another smaller game that I can think of that I played that I really enjoyed it was free on PS3 a few years ago, was the re-release of Mickey's Castle of Illusion.
Okay.
Which I know it's not, Disney game. Big thing to talk about on this show, but it was a game that I remember playing when I was a kid and really liked, and then going and seeing it's a beautiful looking game now, and it plays great, it works great, but there's that time difference where I can go and look at it and go, I want to play this now.
And that's definitely something I think we can see in the future too, because a lot of those games, like
Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, like Halo. Like, they're not owned by the developers anymore. Like, publishers own them. So if they decide they want to get another team to remake this game, they can do that.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's something that we can very well see with Kingdom Hearts 10, 15 years from now.
And you don't think it would ruin? You think it would enhance it? Like, you wouldn't want to go
if it's done well.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't like playing old games anyway. So they're like, I don't like the way it looks.
I think you can definitely make a comparison with that in movies, for example. Like, you remake. I'm not going to use that film that I'm thinking about because I hate the amount of hate that it gets for no reason. But what's a remake recently that was decent and then a remake that wasn't all that great? But you get the overall point. You can't think of anything else off your head, but you get the overall point in that you'll have remakes that are good and you'll have remakes like The Departed, for example, was a remake. Fantastic film. One of Martin Scorsese's best films. Mm-hmm. And then you'll get other remakes where you're like, not so good. Why are they remaking this film? They shouldn't have done that. Mm-hmm. And so I think you'll definitely see the same thing with video games because that seems to be kind of the time we're in where these HD remasters are a thing. And I'm sure that publishers will start going further down the well. It's like, you know what? Hey, this game, we haven't seen this in like 20 years. Let's see if somebody wants to remake that. Like Rayman, they're doing that with.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah. Well, not Rayman, but Crash.
Oh, yeah.
Crash would be
Yeah, the Crash. That I'm curious to see how it'll work because...
Yeah. It looks promising.
It looks promising. I've played the original Crash recently, and...
I played it through Uncharted 4. Gotta drop that every week.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, just playing, like, the PS1 version of it. Because we had a PS3 that was backwards compatible.
Yeah.
And it's just, it doesn't quite hold up. Mm-hmm. You know, that 3D platformer, like, you know, looking straight down the camera or straight, you know, running straight towards the camera. Mm-hmm. It doesn't hold up as much as you would like it to.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll rework the camera angle a little bit because that's not just going to be a reskin to make it look prettier.
Yeah.
They have to remake that game.
Yeah.
From the ground up.
That's what that's what it looks like doing. What they're doing from what I saw. It looked good. Yeah. It didn't look bad. So that's not bad for me.
It's interesting you bring that up just because it's like an older game that you said didn't hold up. Just like. I think, because that kind of goes to our when we were talking about previous topic of, you know, like older games and why we won't play them or why it just doesn't, just like you don't want to.
Yeah.
Just not that you don't want to play, it's just, exactly.
I think that's something you can say about a lot of stuff, though, not even just games. It's like movies and stuff, too. Mm-hmm. Like, I know for me, just like, not to get too off on it, but the original Batman movie, Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah.
I loved that movie when I was a kid. Yeah. And then I saw it got re-released on Blu-ray and a Steelbook. And then I rewatched it. Like, it's not a bad movie, but it's just I don't like it as much as I used to. Like, I start to see, like, it's still, like, it was supposed to be dark, but it's still very cartoonish.
People love that Batman. Yeah. I'm like, I hate that Batman.
I had people try and tell me that Jack Nicholson was a better Joker than Heath Ledger.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's like the person that you secretly never listen to their opinion ever again. You're like, you're done in my head.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things, like, it's not bad. I can still see why it's a good movie or a good game with Crash Bandicoot, but it just doesn't hold up as well as some other stuff does.
Yeah. For sure.